Hello, Delia here with True North Equestrians, and today's video is going to be one in a series of two that profiles information from a soul purpose reading. And I know that you've heard me talk about them a lot, and I usually talk about it's amazing what horses have to say, but something I don't always cover is a lot of times they give instructions or advice to their human. And this one horse and human in particular, they've given me permission to use this. And I just wanted to profile how that horses contribute to our spiritual growth and our overall well-being. So today it's about Marley and Ann, and I'm going to read a little bit and then go over it. It says, Marley says, I'm not always easy, but if I were easy, you would have lost interest. Clearly says to me the horse understands this human. You seem to focus on what's the largest demand of your time and energy. When we are alone, you can be with your heart. When you are with others, you become your mind and you become all that you cannot control or manage. You become something outside yourself. And that's an astute observation for anyone to notice. How that he notices that she's genuine when she's with him and when they're together, but when she's around other people, try to get Chant in here, she'll be so upset if she's not in the video. But when she's around other people, she kind of takes on, she gets outside of herself and she isn't authentic anymore. She becomes basically someone that's reactive to her environment. And I'm sure a lot of us can relate to that, but the horse was spot on with this. And he says, I'm here to bring you to wholeness. You resist, preferring to rebel and react. This once worked for you, but no longer. Now it keeps you separate. Being separate from what your heart desires keeps you as you were. You have felt the call to become more in alignment with your heart, but you resist. Resisting is habitual. This battle is internal and will continue until you surrender to yourself. This is just brilliant information. I've used this quote before in some of my soul purpose shorts. And surrendering to yourself is an interesting thought, but as an observer, it's easier to see. And that's what Marley has witnessed in Anne. It's how he sees her as continually fighting against herself. He and her share a lot of similarities, a lot of the same demise. And he says, when you align with acceptance, you become the dance of surrender. This is not the same as losing. Surrender becomes its own interpretation of individuality and power. It becomes a life of its own, and it is immune to outside influence. This is a safe place to be, and I've mentioned this before, how that he talks about surrender being a place of power. And I know as humans, it's so easy for us to become resistant. Not everybody's good at surrendering or accepting, included. So it's interesting that he noticed with her that if she would surrender to herself, she would be in a place of power. So just sharing a little bit of information about details that some of these soul purpose readings have. Most of them, the horses do offer advice or observations on how their human is or their human is not, as well as how they are within themselves. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in part 2 of the reading for Marley and Ann.